welcome back to the Beach Bum Bookworm. I am Tiffany. I'm so glad y'all found me again today. My channel's all about cozy mysteries and romance books. Today, I am here, my top animals and cozy mysteries. Now, of course, I say top 5, and I only have 5, and like 2 honorable mentions. That's good for me, right? Yeah, I know. Okay, so let's get right into it. We're talking about my top 5 cozy mystery animals, or animals featured in cozy mystery. In 3, 2, 1, go. Before we get into the good stuff, don't forget to hit the like, subscription, notification bell. All 3 of those help us out tremendously in the algorithm. Support is absolutely free. It costs nothing to hit any of those buttons, but it means a great deal to us. It keeps our channels growing. It keeps you knowing when we put out videos, and you get to see my smiling face. Okay, let's get started. I feel so relaxed today. That's so, ignore me. This is, you're not new here, right? If you're new here, hi, I'm Tiffany. Okay, let's go. The first one is, I'm going to tell you who the first animal is, and then I'll tell you about the series. The first animal is my man, Baby. Now, Baby is a 200-pound English Mastiff. It is the Baker Street Cozy Mystery series by Valerie Burns. This is fast becoming one of my favorite series of all time. The first book is called 2 Parts Sugar, 1 Part Murder. So our gal, I always forget Maddie, she inherits Baby and Baby Cakes. Baby Cakes is a bakery that her great aunt Octavia owned. And along with it, she inherits, like I said, Baby, 200-pound English Mastiff. This series is so much fun. So Maddie was a social media expert, and so she is really trying to learn the ropes of the bakery business, as well as acclimate to this small town that she's now living in. And she has a new relationship, and she has Baby and all of those things. But also, she still keeps her social media influence really alive with constantly like posting and hashtags and all of those things. And I didn't know if I would love that, but I do. It really works, or it works in this series. Maybe Valerie Burns just pulls it off. I'm not saying that it will work in every cozy, but in this one, Maddie just is such a likable character that it just all works for me. This series, like I said, is becoming one of my favorites. One of the things that Valerie Burns does so well, particularly in this series, is that in the first book, great Aunt Octavia's friends became Maddie's support system and friends. And the way they loved and talked about her aunt, it made you feel like her aunt was just right there with you, just in the other room where she wasn't taking part in all the fun. Like, it just was done so well. There are currently 4 books in the series. I've read the first 3. I just read number 3 recently, but number 4 just came out, and I'm so excited for it. Love this series, and love Baby. Next up, our animal, Jethro. He, yes, is a pig from the Amish Candy Shop. One of my favorite series of all time. The Amish Candy Shop is by Made of Flower. First book is called A Salted Caramel. So this features Bailey and Jethro, and Bailey King is a chocolatier, and she was an upcoming, like, rising to fame chocolatier in New York City. And in the first book, A Salted Caramel, she gets a call from her grandparents who live in Harvest, Ohio. They are Amish, and they run Swissman Sweets, which is a candy shop. And the grandfather is sick. And so she goes back home to help with her grandfather, help run the store. And we're on like the 10th book. And so you can kind of venture to say, without being a spoiler, that she stayed. Well, who would this be? This is her boyfriend, Aiden? Her boyfriend, Aiden, who's the cop. I don't make me swear to the name, but I think his name is Aiden. The Jethro belongs to his mother, who is now married the pastor in town. And what is the mom's name? Judith? Jim, or something with a J, I feel like. She is really pushing for Bailey and Aiden to be good together. But also, she is constantly needing a babysitter for little Jethro. And I just need to tell you, Although I love that pig. That pig is a naughty pig. He is very, very naughty. He is always... Juliet, that's her name. I don't know why that just occurred to me out of nowhere. She doesn't believe that little Jethro can do anything wrong. You know, he's her baby. He's naughty. And I love him so much. I really, really, really enjoy him. He's written as a great character. This is a really fun series. Lots of fun characters within the community. There's a spinoff to this series, which is the Amish matchmaking series. Also love it. It features Millie and Lois. Millie is a Amish woman, and she is the town's matchmaker for young Amish couples. And Lois is this sassy English woman. And together they are two of my favorite duo of amateur sleuths. They are like Lucy and Ethel. They're just so funny. And Lois sometimes will say things and do things that Millie doesn't feel comfortable with doing as an Amish woman. Lois is like, well, I have no problem. And I just love the two of them together. Their dynamic is so much fun. And I really love the spinoff because it shows a different dynamic of a lot of characters who are in both series. So you might see them one way in the candy shop and a different in the matchmaker. The example I always give, and it's one that is such a difference, and that's why I love it so much, is that there is the bishop's wife. Her name is Ruth. In the candy shop, she is very revered, and most people are very intimidated by her, including Bailey, and she kind of pushes people around. Well, in the Amish matchmaking shop, Ruth, Millie, and Lois all went to school together, so they've known each other since they were like kids. So when Ruth starts acting all high and mighty, and I'm the bishop's wife sort of thing, they're like, knock it off, Ruth. We don't care. And I love it. I'd love to see that whole different dynamic. And I love Jethro. Next up, I know a lot of people think that this cat is evil, but I love him. It is Prozac, the cat, from the Jaine Austen series by Laura Levine. So Prozac is, he is sassy. He often is put out by his owner, just as, very traditional cats. And he just, is Prozac a girl or a boy? I don't know. But yeah, and it's really fun. So Jaine Austen is a pen for hire, and you can hire her to write anything. Jingles, ghostwrite, advertisement. You get the idea, right? And so her cat, Jane's life is very, she's like a calamity. It's always a disaster, right? And Prozac kind of like sits back and he's like, wow, how do you tie your shoes, and he just has this air about him, but it's told through like Jane. So the cat's not talking, and I think we all do this, or I do this, like I will look at my dog and I'll be like, look at him, do you see what Kairu's saying to me? And I kind of give a voice to Kairu based upon what I think, and that's what we get from Jane doing for us for Prozac. But again, I must like naughty animals, fictional naughty animals, because Prozac is naughty. One of the other things that I think makes this series by far is that, so Jane's parents are retired, and Jane lives in California, so I can't remember if they were in California or not, but they moved from where they retired from to Tampa because Mama needed to be closer to QVC, so she got her packages faster. You get it, like you do. And so an email exchange starts. It is not in the first book. I don't know if it starts in the second or the third, but this emails start between Jane and Mom and then Jane and Dad. And they are hysterical. Make the entire series for me. And if you can do it on audio, even better. So the emails are like mirrored opposites, but they're so funny. So the dad calls Jane Lamb Chop. So the email will start. He'll say, hey, Lamb Chop, your mom is just so thrilled with me. I got a new toupee. She thinks I look younger than the day we married. She can't keep her hands off me. And then you'll see an email from mom, and it'll be like, you won't believe what your dad bought. He bought the worst toupee in the history of toupees. I have to figure out a way to get this toupee off this man's scalp and get rid of it in a way that he'll never know it was gone. And it is hysterical. So funny. Highly, highly recommend this series. But this series does have a sense of humor, that the humor's not going to be for everybody, because Jane can be very self-deprecating. And so just kind of keep that in mind. And there's some jokes that, where she's very self-deprecating. So, okay. But very, very, very fun series. Next up, is Theodore. He's not that kind of goat. Don't say that. He's not that kind of goat. Nope. No, ma'am. No, sir. It is the Christmas Tree Farm series by Jacqueline Frost. The first book is called The 12 Sleighs of Christmas. Jacqueline Frost is Julie Ann Hatcher, and this series is so much fun. So there is Theodore, which is where my favorite comes from. But our main character, Holly, they live in Mistletoe, Maine. The family owns a Christmas tree farm and an inn, and there's like a bakery on staff, and they have a side character named Cookie who owns Jethro, who owns Theodore, and she is one of my favorite side characters, one of my favorite human side characters. Love, love, love her. Oh my goodness. Okay, so at the Christmas tree farm in Mistletoe, Maine, our main character, Holly, also owns Cindy Lou Who, her cat. But I really want to talk about Theodore. Theodore is a goat that Cookie owns, and she named him after her late husband, and she really treats Theodore as a human and a companion, and it's so funny the way that she talks about him. And in every book, somebody offends her, and she says that line, he's not that type of goat. And she's very, very insistent upon it. She does not like that. He is not that type of goat. Although he has posed for a calendar where I don't know what he was wearing. I'm just saying. I do have to add too, because this is one of my biggest feats in life. I am the victim in the fourth book. And so it is the one with the prima ballerina. Of course, I'm a prima ballerina. I didn't need to tell you that. I can't remember, stalking around the Christmas tree. And we have a live where Julianne came on the live with us and talked about the book. So you can check that out. But it's just such an honor. And I am there with Theodore and the rest of the gang. And I love, 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 love this series. It is one of the coziest of cozy series. And I love it. Chef's kiss. And our last one. And then I have 2 honorable mentions, as I mentioned, I think, in the beginning. But the last one of our regular top 5 favorite animals and cozy mysteries is Figaro. Figaro is the cat from the Poppy McAllister series, and another kitty who is naughty. Maybe I just like naughty animals. I don't know. Maybe that's just a thing. I like naughty animals. So the Poppy McAllister series is by Libby Klein. There are 9 books in this series. The first book is called Class Reunions Are Murder. And our gal Poppy, she bakes gluten-free treats. And then as the series progresses, she turns her I was going to say her great aunt, but it's her Aunt Jenny home into a bed and breakfast. And this series has had a lot of growth. I just read the last one out and I was like, oh, we're really moving along. Absolutely love it. But Figaro is absolutely hysterical and, gets involved in some antics. He really, really, really does. I love him so much. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I have 2 honorable mentions. I have Welly from the Beacon Bakeshop by Darci Hannah. I had to think of the name of the series. And I think the first book is called Murder at the Beacon Bakeshop, but I can't swear to that. I'll put it up here though. So Welly is, what kind of dog is Welly? a Newfoundland. And so he's very big and floppy, and I love him. And that's why I picked him and why I picked Baby, because I feel like in cozies, when there is dogs present, they're smaller dogs, and I love small dogs. I have a small dog, but there's just something about these big old honkers of dogs that are just so sweet and so loyal to I just love them so much. And hence why Wellington, or Welly, made the honorable mention. The Beacon Bake Shop takes place in Michigan, and our main character, Lindsay Bakewell, I think, Lindsay Sweetwell. I know her last name is something that you're like, oh, well, she had to be a bakery owner because, look at her last name. She buys a lighthouse and has a bakery in it. And I really have enjoyed this series, and I look forward to the next one and to see what Welly is up to. And my last honorable mention, see, I only had 2 honorable mentions, is Loretta. I couldn't not give a shout out to Loretta. Loretta is the fish owned by Willa in the Cheese Shop series by Korina Moss. The first book is Cheddar Off Dead. And oh my gosh, Loretta loves the guy from Chopped. She has a crush on him. She always gets to watch the channel when Willa is gone. She keeps it on for Loretta to have company, and I absolutely love her. It's just, I like when, Loretta's just unique. Like, how many people have a goldfish in a cozy mystery? Or it's not a goldfish, but how many people have a fish as a pet in a cozy mystery? And she really does add some pop to the series, and I really, really appreciate her. Now, I want to hear what your top animals are in cozy mysteries. What series and what animals? Put them in the comments below. Give me a big thumbs up for this video. And until next time, may all your future reads be 5 stars. Bye, everybody.